This is my son's 2010 BMW, and these headlights have definitely seen better days. They're so cloudy and yellow, the headlights barely shine properly at night, so today we're going to attempt to get them cleaned up. I'll be using 3M's Ultra Headlight Restoration Kit to see if it'll bring them back to life. I'll walk you through the process step by step, then show you several before and after shots at the end so you can decide for yourself if this kit is worth a try. I'll start by cleaning both headlights with soapy water. This will remove all the oils, dirt, and grime, so we're starting with a clean surface. For the soapy water mix, I just put a couple drops of Dawn dish soap in this bottle of water. Next, I'll use the included 3M masking tape to tape around both headlights. The instructions recommend using 2 layers for extra protection, and this step is extremely important. If the sanding disc touches the paint, it will damage the finish. I'd also recommend extending the tape further out than just one tape width, especially around sharp or pointed areas of the headlight, like the section shown in my quick tip graphic. Unfortunately, I give a good example on why you want to do that here shortly. And since the instructions did recommend 2 layers, let's get that second layer down. And I'll go ahead and mention here, I'm only showing the process from this one headlight, but I'm doing the same thing to the other one as we go, so you'll see both headlights in the before and afters I show later. And here's a larger version of that quick tip graphic from earlier. Now with both headlights completely masked off, we're ready to attach the disc pad holder into the drill. After that's installed, we're going to attach the gold P500 sanding disc. The disc pad and the back of the sanding disc attach like Velcro. Now we're ready to begin sanding the headlight using medium to light pressure. Work slowly and steadily in a back and forth motion, don't press too hard or stay in the same spot too long. Slow and steady is the key here. If the disc gets clogged or stops sanding effectively, switch to a new one. I used about 1.5 discs per headlight, and the kit comes with 6, so you have plenty. And that right there is where that quick tip would have helped me. In that bottom corner I couldn't get the disc fully into the area, and the sanding pad ended up going outside the tape section, damaging the paint. Looking back, I probably should have sanded that corner by hand to get into that tight area more safely. I found it helps to occasionally wipe the headlight down with a microfiber towel so you can see if certain areas need more sanding. Once you're done with the P500 disc, the headlight should have an evenly sanded, frosted white appearance. If you still see any yellowing, glossy spots, or clear areas, keep sanding. Spending extra time on this step will help make the next steps easier and improve the final clarity. When I first started this step, my motions were a little bit jerky back and forth, but I found that going slow and steady from one side to the other helped get a more uniform, sanded appearance. Once the disc got clogged up, I switched over to a new one. As I mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to take the sanding disc off the pad and get some of the edges and more tighter areas by hand. I didn't do that here, but looking back, I wish I had. And honestly, at this point of the process, I'm not even sure how a headlight this scuffed up is even going to look clear again, but let's keep going. Now we'll switch over to the white P800 sanding disc. The process is the same, medium to light pressure, slow and steady, and you want to sand until all the P500 scratches are replaced with finer P800 scratches. The kit only comes with 4 P800 sanding discs, but similar to the gold discs, I only ended up using about 1.5 per headlight, so I ended up having one left over. Now we can remove the white disc and switch over to the P3000 Trizact gray disc. On this step, we want to use a spray bottle with water to dampen the disc and also keep the headlight surface wet. Same process, make sure the disc is flat against the lens and use medium to light pressure. We'll continue until all the P800 scratches are replaced with P3000 scratches. Continue to mist water to the surface if it starts to dry. Eventually, a white slurry will start to build up. Once you see that, continue with 4 to 6 complete passes. Occasionally, wipe the lens so you can tell if there's any areas that need extra attention. And here on this step, I'll leave more of the real-time footage in here so you can see how long it takes for that slurry to build up. Be sure you have wet sanded long enough before moving on to the clear coat step. When you have correctly finished sanding, the headlight should look smooth but will still have a frosty or hazy look to it. Once you're happy with the wet sanding results, go ahead and remove the masking tape. Clean the headlight and surrounding areas with water and a microfiber cloth. Be sure to remove all the residual dirt or contaminants so the headlight is smooth, clean, and dry. The kit comes with one disposable glove and two identical clear coat wipe packets. When removing the clear coat wipe, do not unfold it. To apply the coating, do not apply pressure. If you see bubbles, slow down and/or apply less pressure. You want to slightly overlap each pass about 25 to 50%. Start at the top of the light and work your way down, and do not try to touch up during the first coat. As I was applying these first few passes, I was honestly amazed. You can immediately see the transformation happening. I applied the first coating to both headlights, then the next step is to wait for the first coat to dry, which can be anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. I went ahead and waited the full 15 minutes. Now we can open the second white packet and repeat the process. A tip here is to start on the other headlight first, that way each headlight got a coat with a freshly opened packet. On the second coat, be sure to touch up any spots you missed or any streaks left over from the first coat. The reveal on the second coat isn't as satisfying as the first one, but you can still see a slight difference as the lenses are becoming even more clear. Once the second coat is applied to both headlights, allow 1 hour before exposing to rain or water. I ended up leaving mine in the garage overnight just to be safe. And as promised, here are the satisfying before and afters. The change is drastic. They look like brand new headlights. Hope this video helps you out in your headlight restoration process. If you found it helpful, please consider hitting that like button, and we'll see you on the next one.